4 swords engraved, 2 in play, means there's 4 more we need to find, and we need to find a combo piece to bring them back.
Today on Commander Replay, we try to put all 10 swords on Aurelia the Warleader. Can we do it? Find out next on Commander Replay. Hey guys, there's 2 great ways to support the channel. All links are in the description below.
Welcome back, everyone. Playing some 10 sword Aurelia today. Many people have been asking me about this deck since the last sword was revealed, and initially I was like, oh man, that's gonna be hard to do, but enough people asked me that I sat down and figured out how we're gonna put 10 swords on Aurelia, or at least onto a creature. Getting them onto Aurelia would be magical Christmas land and would be awesome, but I will settle for getting them onto any creature. Anyway, I've gone ahead and kept an opening hand that looks like this. Ooh, yeah. Mountains are good. Let's just get the Misfell Plains right here. We'll pass like that. So, the big challenge with this deck is, if you're trying to put 10 swords on Aurelia, the problem is, the table will probably be dead around 3 or 4 swords, which means you need to get all the swords in at once, so that there's actually people at the table left to kill. So, the way I've decided to go about doing that is Mesmeric Orb Basalt Monolith combo. And here's a look at the deck list. So yeah, with Basalt Monolith, you can untap it infinitely, which allows you to mill as much of your deck as you want to. So the plan is, we mill all 10 swords, we mill Underworld Breach and Sevinne's Reclamation, we Sevinne's Reclamation the Underworld Breach, and then we can Mana Geyser, we have Wake the Past, Triumphant Reckoning, and Brilliant Restoration. There's one more of these. There's a 7-mana one at a Mirrodin. I forgot the name of it, but 3 of them seems good enough. So anyway, we play one of those, and that will reanimate all of our artifacts and enchantments. We then have a Sigarda's Aid and a Hammer of Nazan, which should then free equip all of the equipment. So at that point, we just need Aurelia in play once we do this whole thing. And with Mana Geyser, with Dockside Extortionist, there's also Revelark, Karmic Guide, Altar of Dementia, which allows us to go infinite that way too. We can get infinite mana with Dockside and stuff like that. So yeah, we've got infinites in the deck, but it's in the name of trying to do something pretty silly that would be probably almost impossible otherwise. Anyway, it brings back to our turn. Play the Mountain. We could start with the Mesmeric Orb, but I'll just get the Talisman in right here. We'll start with the Mesmeric Orb next turn. Taking a look at opponents, Sean's got Quest for Ula's Temple, an interesting card. Once it gets 3 counters on it, you can drop in Krakens, Leviathan, and Octopuses and Serpents. Octopus and Octopi and Serpents for free. Yeah, it's a pretty cool card in the right deck. Not a lot of places it can show up, but, you know, in the Sea Creatures deck, it's pretty solid. Oh no, Blind Obedience? Oh, there's so little removal in this deck too. I had to cut so much removal for all these combo cards. I guess that means we'll just need to have Aurelia in before the big play. Now, I did lay down a couple ground rules for opponents in this game, and I'll go over those. So, the first is, my plan is not to kill anyone until all 10 swords are attached to, hopefully Aurelia, but at least a creature. But I will poke for value, so if there's just like a single sword or 2 swords, and you know, we're trying to get some more value going, I will poke them. I also told them, no exile on the swords. Destruction is okay. We've got the mass reanimation stuff, so we can handle some destruction. So I just told them, like, don't exile all the stuff, because then that basically just kills the game. So we're very much doing a one-trick pony kind of thing, and I told opponents to give me a reasonable chance to try and assemble this monstrosity. That's a Helm of Awakening out of Sean's. This is his Helm's Deep deck, by the way, which is basically Helms and Sea Creatures. That's going to make everything cheaper, which will probably speed us up quite a bit. We do got to be careful with Jeska's Will, because I tried to lighten up on the impulse draw, because it, you know, if you exile something you need, it can be bad. So we're going to have to be very careful about the timing of that, make sure we have like most of our mana up whenever that should happen. Opponent gets himself the Sword of the Animus, is going to be pretty good with his Spirit right here. I'm not thrilled about the Blind Obedience, but it probably hopefully slows things down a little bit too, just keeps people from going too wild. Will be bad if we get the treasures going. Yeah, I'm gonna poke over to 7 Deadly. I told him I volunteered to take the 2 right there. What is this? Oh, Staff of the Storyteller. This is a cool card. This is almost like Tome of Legends for tokens. When it enters the battlefield, make a 1/1 white spirit with flying. Whenever you create 1 or more creature tokens, put a counter on it, pay 1, tap it, remove a counter, draw a card. Pretty cool. Sadly, it's in the Commander product, which means it's gonna be probably at least a few dollars. Like Tome of Legends, I think, is around 6 or 7, and I imagine this will hold a similar price tag. Another land. What are we doing right here? Let's play the Plains. Yeah, we'll just play the Mesmeric Orb. Oh, right, everything's cheaper. Everything is cheaper. Yeah, dude, Jessica's Will's too risky. I think we're just chilling. This doesn't have the tap clause on it, does it? No. Actually, we'll want to tap our lands before our turn comes back also. So the milling has commenced. We got a Signet and the red land. Seems like they might have needed those. Worn Power Stone. Yep. Idol of Oblivion. Sean mills a couple. Ooh, Whelming Wave, nice. Helm of the Gas Lord. Sweet card. We'll take a look at what our opponents are playing. So first up is 7 Deadly Sins piloting Quintorius Loremaster. 5 mana for 3/5 Vigilance. At the beginning of your end step, exile target non-creature, non-land, and then make a 3/2 red-white spirit. Pay 3, sacrifice a spirit, choose target card exiled with Quintorius. You may cast that card this turn without paying its mana cost. If it will be put into the graveyard, put it into its owner's library instead. Really interesting. I haven't sat down and thought about what you do with this thing yet, but it does look really interesting. Puts a minus counter, that's Volrath coming in, puts a minus counter on the spirit, but Sword of the Animist keeping it alive, and it'll get another turn to get some lands going. I'm going to tap our lands right here just before I forget. Ooh, Mondrak. Inspiring Leader. Yeah, we milled some stuff. Oh, I love the disruption from Mesmeric Orb. So annoying. Neyali coming into play, comes in tapped. Yeah, Blinded Beat is going to be interesting too, because if people are laying creatures in, that's a few more things that get milled every turn. 1/1 coming our way. It's got double strike now. Yep. And they get to do the thing with Neyali. They can exile a card during any turn which you attack with a token, you may play it. They exile a Defiler of Faith, card that I've been trying to get a look at, and just haven't played the decks. Where the decks that I have played, it hasn't showed up. It's been frustrating. I've been trying to get a look at that cycle, and what are we? We're already, 2 sets past that now? 1 set, 2 set? I don't remember. I can't even tell what set symbol that is anymore. It's too many sets. Opponent's gonna draw a card. Sure. Plays a land. We could use some decent mills. Honestly, I think we're trying to find combo pieces is what we're trying to do. So Basalt Monolith, Underworld Breach. There's 5 mill triggers from us. Land, Tajiri, and Borrow's Charm. Kind of wanted that one. Signet. Tome of Legends. Mostly stuff we wanted. I think we can get Aurelia in this turn, though. This is Sigarda's Aid. Let's play... I'm not even a creature. At least if we had creatures, we could Revel Arc. But yeah, play the Plains. Cast Aurelia. Hope the Mesmeric Orb survives another turn or two. Haven't quite got all the things going that we need yet, so... Sigarda's Aid is an interesting card. Historically, I think I've undervalued it over the years. Going back, after playing that 2017 Aurelia deck, I probably wouldn't run it in that because the card draw was so bad back then. Now that card draw is a lot better, I think Sigarda's Aid is much, much better, because the problem was you just needed every card to be super impactful back then, because you'd only have maybe 2 or 3 cards in hand for a lot of the game. Now that you can have 5 or 6 cards through a good chunk of the game, Mask of Memory, and all the other draw sources, I think Sigarda's Aid is one that I really need to start looking at again. And unfortunately, because of that modern deck, they all got very expensive, so it's just one that I haven't played as much. But I think it makes a lot more sense in the modern landscape of Commander, where everyone has a ton of card draw. Visions of Phyrexia. Uh-oh, what's this? At the beginning of your upkeep, exile a top card to your library. You may play that card this turn. At the beginning of your end step, if you didn't play the card from exile, create a Power Stone token. Oh, that's pretty cool. Sort of like Outpost Siege, but if you don't play the card, you get some ramp. Sweet. It'd be interesting to run all of these in a deck, because there's a couple of them now. You also have Vance's Blasting Cannons. Just say if you didn't play a card from exile? If you didn't play a card from exile, so it doesn't even have to be that card. Interesting. So it makes a Power Stone on its first turn. That's pretty cool. I like that. That might make it a little bit better than Outpost Siege, if you're only using Outpost Siege for the draw. With all the exile stuff, I really want to revisit Belborca. Ooh, that's a Rexiel. Rexiel's going to be really good when everyone is milling a ton of cards. That's going to be a thing. Was it cast from their graveyard? Eek. Minus counter on Aurelia. No good. 7/5, over to 7 Deadly. A lot of mill from our opponent right here. Really looking to get at least one more cycle of mill from this orb. Hopefully they don't shoot it. I don't have a great plan for our next turn if we don't kind of find some stuff here. Response Resurgence is a magic card. Adeline coming in, comes in tapped. One thing we could do, I'm not thrilled about this, but we could Savine's Reclamation, the Tome of Legends, just to keep the card draw coming. If we have absolutely nothing to do, I might do that. But then we have to be careful. Opponent going on the attack here. Sword of the Animist, Neyali, and Adeline all trigger. Probably going to try to avoid the Savines on the Tome of Legends because of the way the timing... Well, let's see. Yeah, because Then if only one of our combo pieces are in the graveyard, we might have some trouble. So I want to be very careful about that. Yeah, opponent's valuing over there. They're drawing cards and getting lands every turn. All their tokens have double strike. That's going to be a thing. Opponent made a token last turn. They could have drawn with Idol of Oblivion. Whoops. Brings it back to our turn. We're getting some more of that sweet, sweet mill. Let's see what we hit. Oh, God. Lands. A sword. 2 swords. Restoration Specialist is helpful to be in the graveyard. A third sword, you say. All right, let's... no tutors in the graveyard. If we had more tutors, I might look at bringing that back. But let's see. Let's play the Mountain. Play the Thran Dynamo. Probably look at Jessica's Will next turn. Thran Dynamo untapped. We'll play the Sigarda's Aid right here. So we have the Thran Dynamo up. That's a lot of mana, and I feel reasonably comfortable that we should be able to cast anything that we run into. The curve in this deck is pretty low. We have no value in our attacks right here. Like, we'd only be doing damage, and so I'm just going to leave Aurelia back because I told opponents, won't kill you guys if I'm not generating value, so no value in this attack, even though we could be getting a little bit of commander damage going. And like in a normal game, that would be relevant, but if we get all 10 swords strapped onto it, that should be easily lethal. I don't even... How much is that? So that'd be plus 20, right? Yeah, because 10 times 2. So currently Aurelia would be a 22-22, which means she would kill 2 players. And bunch more mills. Ooh, Cellar Door. That's a spicy card. Target player puts the bottom card of their library into their graveyard. If it's a creature, make a 2/2 zombie. Who are they playing? Oh, yeah, they're playing Quintorius. Nice. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. Continuing on our opponents, by the way. Sean piloting his Volrath, the Shape Stealer, Helm's Deep deck. So it's got Helms and Sea Creatures. That's basically the theme of the deck. I think he's also got Cauldra in there, which he assembles from time to time. Volrath's an interesting commander, though. You can do a lot of different things with that copy ability. You gotta be careful of that, actually. Having an Aurelia out there is, like, actually a really bad idea, because him copying Aurelia is... That gets us all killed really quickly, actually. And then finally, we've got Jenka Tamar piloting Neyali Sun's Vanguard, a newish one. 4 mana, 3/3. Attacking tokens you control have double strike. Whenever one or more tokens you control attack, exile a top card to your library during any turn which you attack with a token, you may play it. So yeah, it's a tokens deck, and from what I've heard it's very good. I haven't had a chance to play it myself. Hopefully we'll get around to that one sometime soon, but opponent gonna extort. Their exile card is released to memory. Exile target opponent's for each creature card exiled this way. We fortunately don't have too many of those, so if they wanted to go to someone else's graveyard and exile a lot of creatures, Sean doesn't have that many. Archivist of Ogma. Whenever an opponent searches their library, you gain 1 life and draw a card. Extort. Opponent chooses not to play the graveyard exile. I did tell them not to exile the swords. Ours would make the most sense. It also costs 4 mana, which is... It's not nothing. They'll get another Power Stone right here. They should draw with the Idol of Oblivion. They, once again, forgot to draw with the Idol. That stuff matters. That's 2 extra cards they'd be looking at right now. We have wheels, and, well, you know, we'll probably play one eventually, but... Sean just sent me a private message saying, I'm going to demonstrate why someone having an Aurelia is bad. Yep. Even better with Rexiel. He can get 2 spells. There's also a Helm of Cauldra, just to be safe. Equip the Helm. Yep. Jenka's got feelings. They're going to swords the Volrath. Yeah, I think they see where this is going. That does unfortunately put a swords into the graveyard, which means they can then get it back, and, you know, Aurelia is a reasonable target for the swords. But if Sean wants to use our Aurelia, then that's a thing too. That's an Arixmethes coming in. Nice. Cool card. Just so much flavor. I love this fact. For a long time, it was the most expensive card out of that Commander product. It was only like $10. That Commander product was very cheap, but... Opponent untaps. That is a lot of mill. It's a funny card because so often it mills the things that blow it up, which is a weird form of self-protection. Opponent's got 31 cards in grave, 49 in library. He's getting down there. Opponent's gonna send some tokens over our way. Yep. More Neyali triggers. Adeline. Ooh, those all gonna have double strike too. Yeah, we could use a board wipe. Wouldn't mind slowing this game down a little bit. Bunch of counters on the thing. Oh, we should tap our lands out, by the way. Archivist trigger. Oh, yeah, they searched. Okay. They gain a life and draw a card. Tap the other land. Yeah, we'll block one of these 1/1s. Do need to come up with some things to do and really kind of get ourselves going here. Down to 26. Yep, that's a punch. Brings it back to our turn. What is it, about 6 more mills? Brilliant Restoration into the graveyard. Sunforger. That's mostly for using Enlightened Tutor. Another sword. That puts us at 4 swords. Magus is potential card draw. There's a land. Blasphemous Act. Ooh, yeah, we could use the Blasphemous Act. Could have used that one. Let's cast the Jessica's Will. Who's got the most cards in hand? It's like 6 over here. Hope we draw things that matter. Well, we hit Soul Ring. Yeah, that's awkward. That's not what we were looking for. Play the Emeria. Play the Soul Ring. I think I'm going to start doing things that I didn't want to do. That comes in tapped. Oh, you know what we could do? We could hold the Savines, and then, yeah, we could go with the Revel Arc right here is what we can do. Yeah, that's not a bad idea, actually. We'll evoke the Revel Arc. Hopefully we don't bite ourselves for a later turn. What sword are we getting? Once in Future seems interesting. Evoke the Revel Arc. Getting Restoration Specialist. Wait, is Magus a 3? Magus is a 3/3. Oh. Oh, no. Crack the Restoration Specialist. Let's get... Let me see here. Surveil 2. Yeah, that seems good. And then cast an instant or sorcery with mana value 2 or less. Do we have any of those? I have a Boros Charm. We can Surveil 2, though, and we can do it twice. So I guess that's still what we're doing. Toma Legend's also promising. We'll get Once in Future. Crack the Restoration Specialist. Cast the Once in Future. Ooh, free equip. Nice. Or we're going to have leftover mana. Not much we can do about it. Use the ability. Let's get down to some pokes. Also, notable protection against Volrath and Rexiel. Attack Jenka. They seem to have a lot going on here. Aurelia trigger. Once in Future trigger. What do we hit? Oh, God, 2 lands. To the graveyard. Yeah, it doesn't really make sense to flash the spell back. We'll attack 7 deadly this time, just spread it around a little bit. It's surprising how often you exile your Teferi's Protection with Impulse Draw. Seems to be happening to me a lot recently. Surveil again. Akiri Fearless Voyager is a useful card. Land into the graveyard, and Akiri on top. We've already played a land. We'll just Teferi's Protect, because we're going to lose it anyway. We'll tap our thing before we do it. Oh, no. Oh, we're just going to end up milling the Akiri. Oh, well. We'll have some pretty good mill coming this turn. And then we've got more looting action with Savines, although... the awkwardness here is that, like... Or with the sword, is that we don't really have a way to draw whatever we put on top. Portal to Phyrexia. Well, at least we don't have to sacrifice our commander, but that'll eat up some stuff. This thing's pretty strong, though. Put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield. Yep. I wonder if they go for our Magus. Opponent has once again not used their Idol of Oblivion. That's at least 3 draws they've missed with it. They did make another token this turn. Portal to Phyrexia did fortunately clean out some of the tokens right here, which is good. Volrath coming back, takes a counter off of Rixmathes. You know what's interesting? So we're on turn 7 right now, and because I'm not doing my normal thing of being aggressive, everyone's life totals are still pretty high, 33, 36, and 32. Not that we've had the opportunity to do a lot of damage up to this point, but they'd be a little bit lower because we would have poked a time or two with Aurelia. Equips the helm to the Volrath. It does come in tapped. Roar of Resistance. Creature tokens you control have haste. Oh, that seems good. Whenever one or more creatures you attack, pay 2. If you do, creatures attacking your opponents or planeswalkers get 2/0 until end of turn. Wow, that's a card. Yeah, some removal could go off. Not be sad about a board wipe. I am thinking we probably should have held that Revel Arc. I don't know that it was truly worth it what we just did. Hopefully things shape up and hopefully we don't get caught awkwardly. Like, because if we found the other half of the combo with Revel Arc and we can't get to it, it's going to feel real bad. Yep. There's a bunch of triggers. Adeline, Sword of the Animist, Roar of Resistance, and Neyali all trigger. 7 Deadly realizing that they forgot their idle triggers, even though I mentioned it to them like a little while back. Adeline trigger. Ooh, maybe we should have... we probably should have went Sunforger. Sunforger gets Enlightened Tutor. Yeah, right. We should have went Sunforger. Whoops. I guess we could Savine. Yeah, we could Savines it. Sunforger, get Enlightened Tutor. We need to find a way to draw the card we Enlightened Tutor, though. We do it after the orb triggers. Maybe we'll get lucky here and we won't have to do all that. That'd be nice. Opponent's getting punched. Some tokens. They've all got double strike. Should do a sword count just to keep track of where we are. 3 swords in grave, 1 in play. 6 to go. Takasha's Welcome, Smothering Tide. This is bad if we start trying to wheel. You know, we do have Light and Shadow in the deck, and that could get creatures back. I'm just thinking about that. I don't usually run Light and Shadow. I probably undervalued it a bit over the years. Akiri, Stoneforge Mystic. Oh, Stoneforge would have been nice. Tithe. Tithe we can cast. Blackblade, meh. Blackblade's in there basically... Sword of the Animist. Blackblade's in there basically Waves of Aggression. That's how we win. So we could get a bigger Altar of Dementia trigger. Oh, we draw a land? You kidding me? Alright, we're probably going to do things we don't want to do. Because we need stuff to do. They can have the treasure. Play the plains. Play Savines on... What does Stoneforge Mystic do? Stoneforge Mystic could get us Fire and Ice. Oh, that's not a bad idea. We could kill some important stuff with Fire and Ice and get more cards. I'm in for that. Actually, if we got Light and Shadow, we could then get Stoneforge Mystic and Restoration Specialist back. That's a thought, too. Sunforger would get us to the Monolith. Did I cut Sulphurous Blast? I probably did. Maybe we're on Fire and Ice then. No, let's go Light and Shadow. Let's go Light and Shadow. Savines on the Stoneforge Mystic. There's a Stoneforge Mystic. Use the ability. They are both tempting, as I'm looking at it. Killing stuff slows the damage. I'm gonna go Fire and Ice. The Light and Shadow plays look really cool, though. Opponent draws a card. They pay. Cast the sword. Pre-equip. To the Aurelia. Use the ability. Sean looks like he's safe for a punch right here. I just want to make sure, because they have a bunch of open mana over there. I want to make sure we get these, Oh, wow, that's anyone? Wow. Oh, hey, we're going to untap our Stoneforge Mystic. That's a Dark Depths, by the way, with 10 counters on it. Watch out for that. We'll go Fire and Ice on the bottom. I think I want to get rid of this Adeline, because it's spitting out tokens at an alarming rate that all have double strike. That's a once-in-future trigger. Feast and Famine can... Feast and Famine can go to the graveyard. Stone Hero Giant will keep. Any instance... Nope, not really. Funny story, we would have been able to cast that Feast and Famine mid-combat, although we really haven't used our lands that much, so I don't know that it matters all that much. We draw the Stone Hewer. Not paying. Probably could, but I don't really know what the rest of this turn's going to look like. Back to combat. Into Jenka. Fire and Ice on the bottom. Finish off the Adeline. Once in future, keep the milk coming. Steel Shaper's Gift and Enlightened Tutor. We want both. I know what we can do. We can surveil this one. Keep Enlightened Tutor on top. If we cast the Steel Shapers, we shuffle our library. That's unfortunate. I guess we could do it next turn. We sadly have no card draw, so we can't draw the Enlightened Tutor until... We have to do it after the Mesmeric Orb. We can pay for the Smothering Tithe, since we kind of know what we're doing. Cast the Stone Hewer Giant. It comes in tapped. We'll pass like that. Wouldn't be sad to see a board wipe. Opponent can get a creature back. Since they've finally drawn a few, they may not go for the Magus now. And actually, the Magus would kind of mess up our plans unless someone shoots the Mesmeric Orb. They go for an Esper Sentinel. Need to set a stop for our upkeep. We need to make sure we don't run out of mana during this combo. That's also a concern. Mana Geyser's in the graveyard now. That's notable. We're gonna cast an exile card. It is a Delayed Fireball. Ooh, that's gonna be from exile. That's gonna blow up a lot of stuff. Wait, did they mess it up? Oh, cast this turn. Yeah, this is a really cool card. Decks that play things from exile, this turns into 5 damage, and that's instant 5 damage. Yeah, that'll slow everything down beautifully. Aurelia, fortunately, pro-red. So, a bunch of creatures get blown up. The Neyali threat has been stopped. I feel decently good that we're going to be able to execute the combo this turn. So we need to go Enlightened Tutor to get Basalt Monolith. We cast Basalt Monolith with the Thran Dynamo. Actually, we can cast it with the Soul Ring. We use the Thran Dynamo, or no, we use the Basalt Monolith on itself to then tap and untap as much as we need to, which leaves us with this much mana, which is decent. We'll need to spend 5 of that to get Savine's Reclamation. And then, oh yeah, it's going to be tight. It's going to be tight, especially with the white mana. Overwhelming Splendor, you say. Can't activate abilities that aren't mana. Oh, God. That actually hoses us. Now we're probably dead. Because that stops us from doing the combo. I mean, we might have to just kill them to get the thing off of us. Notably, the protection is gone. I believe that's the layers thing, since this happened after the swords. Moonsilver Key. There's 46 cards in our library. So maybe... What do we do now? We can't activate abilities, which means we can't use Altar of Dementia. Can't crack Restoration Specialist. Probably can't use the Flashback even. Yeah, well, that means we probably have to kill them now. Is Flashback an activated ability? Or is that... that might be an alternative cast. So we could be okay there. What if we went for Underworld Breach? Do we have a... Mana Geyser... Kind of need to run into the wheel, although we can Jessica's Will our way there, is what we can do. Pretty sure there's at least one piece of artifact removal in the deck. There's an Austere Command. There's also a Chaos Warp. Have we run into Chaos Warp? We have not. Opponent's end step trigger. It's going to Volrath back the Coma. Oh, God. The stacks. Because Blind Obedience kills Dockside mana. And we only have so much white mana, which is a problem. Push comes to shove, we might be able to feast and famine. But there's a lot of timing that would go into that. 4 swords engraved, 2 in play. Means there's 4 more we need to find, and we need to find a combo piece to bring them back. Sean's kind of locked on mana. A lot of... Well, I guess Arixmethes makes some mana, I guess. Dark Depths doesn't, though. Bunch of mill for opponent. They're going to really be down there now. Silverwing Squadron. Good in a token deck. Draws a card. Opponent has a Storm Herd as their exiled card. Nice. Chaos Warp on Mesmeric Orb. Kind of needed that. I guess now we can Enlighten Tutor at the end step. That's fine. Yeah, that means we'd have to go Underworld Breach, Jessica's Will to kind of get to the end. Get through all the cards we need to get through. We get a Pure Steel Paladin, which has no abilities. That's disappointing. Ooh, that's a May. Okay. I was just thinking if we, like, milled our entire deck, and you get the draw, you could draw from an empty library. We have a Chaos Warp of our own. That'd be probably better. Actually, yeah, that would be a much better solution to the Overwhelming Splendor. Just make sure it's not in the graveyard yet. It is not. That's a White Sun Zenith. Okie dokie. That's an instant. They could have waited on that. Yeah, that's... Unless you have haste? Oh, they have haste. There you go. Oh, but Blind Obedience. Yeah, Blind Obedience is still in play, so they come in tapped. Yeah, they should have waited till the end step with that. And that's a 10-10. Mistakes from opponents this game. Although, stacks pieces are easy to make mistakes and do, like Blind Obedience is it's easy to forget stacks pieces. Like, those are the type of mistakes that I find kind of forgivable. Because, like, and it's less about what your deck is doing, and you have to, like, you have to understand how opponent's deck is interacting with your deck. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if I mess something up in this next turn here. Well, at least we're safe. We should get to untap. Opponents are reasonably tapped out. Sean's got a little mana, only 2 cards. But, you know, blue is pesky. End step, we're going to Enlighten Tutor for Underworld Breach. Esper Sentinel, we can pay. Underworld Breach. 4 swords left in the deck. Opponent gets to draw a card. Some Othering Tithe. Is it quad white? Oh god, that's quad white. Yeah, we're going to want to try to get one of the other ones. That doesn't use as much white. Brings it back to our turn. Underworld Breach. I'll just let that go. Cast Underworld Breach. Esper Sentinel. They can draw. Alright, let's start with the Jessica's Will. Going both modes, targeting 7. We need to exile some stuff. We'll go land, Arcane Signet, High Market. What do we hit? We hit a sword. Ooh, Karmic Guide, huh? Karmic Guide might speed the process up? Don't know. Jessica's Will again. Foundry, Plains, Windswept. No, it won't because we can't sacrifice anything currently. Valakut Awakening. Fervent Mastery. That might help. Yeah, Fervent Mastery should help a lot, actually. Cast Fervent Mastery. Hammer's in here. We need to remember that. Let's get Wheel. Or do we just go Swords? 3 swords left in the... Let's just get 3 swords. Yeah, because then after that we're good, right? All 3 swords go to the graveyard. I think that's all of them. Let's just do a double count. Do need to find that Chaos Warp, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We got them. Okay. Next up is Mana Geyser. Who's got a lot? Jenka's got lands. We need to discard, exile some stuff. Kiri, Ancient Tomb, Magus, I guess. Bunch of mana. We need to get the Hammer of Nazan first. Actually, that's probably not necessary, but we'll do it anyway. Free equip to the Aurelia. The double trigger is actually going to be a little annoying. Come on. Cast Truth and Justice. Free equip. Next we Brilliant Restoration. Quad white. Woof. Need to exile some cards, get rid of the Makokoro, Bonder's Enclave, and Tithe. So many triggers. Please don't crash. Oh, God. Yeah. Don't have a good feeling about this. Oh, I shouldn't have played the hammer. Oh, thank God. Ooh, interesting. Sigarda's Aid can't... A Sigarda's Aid can only target the Pure Steel Paladin. At least that speeds this up. Use the ability. Oh, my God. That's a lot of stuff. Now we need to figure out how to get to... Oh, I know how to get to it. Fervent Mastery. Exile some stuff. Land. Sajiri. Savines. Get... Dockside, Chaos Warp, and Wheel. Chaos Warp to hand, thank God. And then we'll Chaos Warp the Overwhelming Splendor. Opponent draws a card. Oh, we used the land. Oh, we lost the land. That's not good. Means we can't Waves of Aggression. Oh, we can Underworld Breach it. Oh yeah, that's fine. Get rid of the creatures. Go to combat. Unsure why that has pro... That might be a graphic thing. Into 7 deadly. With the 10-sword Aurelia. Oh my god, so much stuff. Oh, I don't want to deal with any more triggers. Use the ability. Get a land. The triggers never stop. Just want them to stop. I'm concerned that the game may crash when all the sword triggers go off. 3732. That is ridiculous. Imagine having to move this stack in paper. That'd be terrible. Oh god, here it comes. Oh god, please don't crash. Please don't crash during this. Down they go. Alright. Literally just trying to get through this as quickly as possible. Bring back a Stoneforge Mystic. The ones that don't target are much nicer right here. That's 10 sword triggers, though, and it's freaking out again. Yep, I was worried about that. Almost there. Shoot an artifact. Those can go to... Actually, keep one in hand. No, we don't need to cast anything. We've already done so much. Just trying to get through the combo at this point. Oh, no, that shuffles. Yep, put those in the wrong order. Oh, draw another land. Nice. We can Waves of Aggression again if we need to, although we have the mana. Lands untapped, Body and Mind, Light and Shadow, Truth and Justice, back to combat. Got rid of that counter on Aurelia, finally. We'll swing into Jenka since they've got more triggered stuff going off. Tome and Sword. Use the Sword. Get the land. Up to 40 power now. It sucks that, like, Magic Online is so slow that you can't even really enjoy all the triggers that you're getting because it takes so long to click through them. If you do it on, like, turn 4, it'd be fine, but that's really hard to execute. This late in the game, everything is just so slow. I've spent like 10 minutes. Like, if you look at the clock from when I started this combo to right now, it's probably been like 10 or 12 minutes. Jenka goes down. Shoot that thing. Light and Shadow. Feast and Famine. It's freaking out. Fire and Ice. Once and Future. And Sean scoops it up. Told him he could scoop right there because it's going to take a while to click through this. We did it! 10 swords Aurelia. Got them all on there. Opponent made it interesting with the Overwhelming Splendor. That took down the main combo of getting everything into the graveyard. Luckily, we were able to put it together from there. Probably could have put it together a turn sooner if I had gone Sunforger into Enlightened Tutor. And probably could have shortened up that game a little bit. But, yeah, I'm happy we got to do it. It's not the easiest thing to get them all on there, right? And so, like, opponents were giving me a lot of leeway and kind of allowing me to do the thing, like, this is not practical to try and assemble in a normal game of Commander, because, like, one piece of exile and you're done, removal in general, like, trying to just cast a sword, equip a sword, right? You're not going to be able to get all 10 of them. It's just, like, it's too many game actions, and, like I said, people will be dead by the time you get to, like, 3 or 4 swords on Aurelia. So, yeah, 10 sword Aurelia. We did get to see some things from our opponents. The Neyali deck was cool, was pretty threatening for a while. I never really figured out what Seven Deadly's plan was, but they had some stacks. They were impacting the board. They missed a couple card draws. They may have had more to do if they hadn't lost those. But, yeah, overall it was an interesting game, and we got to see the thing. So, can't complain about that. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, feel free to comment, like, or subscribe. Thank you for watching.
I want to thank my awesome Patreon supporters. You guys are awesome. If you want to help support the channel, vote on which decks I play next, or if you want to get some good games of Spell Table, be sure to check out my Patreon at the link below.